What is going on, guys? Today we're here for a very crazy video, a discussion video on something I just found out last week, and a lot of competitive battlers just found out as well. So I'm not going to keep you guys waiting too long. Let's just hop into it. So it turns out Pokemon Showdown, yes sir, our favorite game, at least my favorite Pokemon game. You know, I've played all of them. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. That's all cat, by the way. I started playing in Gen 3, but I played most of them, and I can tell you my favorite Pokemon game after all that is Pokemon Showdown. But either way, we're talking about this. Let's get into it. What did Pokemon Showdown mess up with? Guys, it turns out the item metronome has been incorrectly put on this website, and in the simulator it has the wrong effect. So if we go to the team builder and we look at metronome, hold on. So this is my old Gen 7 team with metronome. You look at metronome, it says damage of moves used on consecutive turns is increased, max 2 times after 5 turns. So as most of us know it, metronome is able to give you a 10% boost every turn you spam the move. So this is seen on a lot of Pokemon such as Hydreigon, metronome Mamoswine, metronome Aegislash, metronome Kyurem, Mantine in the rain, switching between surf and hurricane. There were many different techniques. Like, I'm just trying to show you guys a couple of those monsters. You can see, of course, we have metronome Mantine here, and then I have this I have a metronome Aegislash team as well that I used quite a bit at some point. So yeah, you can see that. And then of course Conkeldurr, not Conkeldurr, Mamoswine. I've used so many different versions of that with metronome. But the problem is with metronome that was not hard-coded correctly on Showdown. And it says it right here on bulbapedia. Well, this is the move. Hold on. I got to go to the item part. Oh, I'm professional. Anyway, we go to the metronome item, right? So you guys can see this normal item. And you can see under effect what it says. And it says, hold on. If the Pokemon is switched out, uses a different move, or uses the move unsuccessfully, such as targeting into Protect or an immunity, the bonus is reset to 0%. So the way we have been playing for months and years, since Generation 4. So Generation 4 came out in 2007. So the way we've been playing for roughly, what, like 12... Well, I mean, simulation has been around forever. But the way we've been playing on Showdown for more than a decade now is that metronome stacks up even if the mon protects. And that's why we thought metronome was so good. Think about all the times you're using something like metronome Mamoswine back in the day. Even now, currently, you use Icicle Crash to flinch through Toxapex, Corviknight, and continue to get more boosts to your Icicle Crash. Same thing can be said with Kyurem with its sub-roost Ice Beam set, Aegislash, clicking Shadow Ball now, there's very few resists. All that stuff made metronome a very good item. And I mean, look at Mantine, for example. Mantine literally only runs a metronome set, sub-roost, Hurricane, Surf, because it allows it to get through Corviknight, Clefable, Pex, defensive cores, because you keep boosting. But think about all those defensive mons, like Toxapex running Baneful Bunker, Kommo-o running Protect, Clefable, which almost every single Clefable nowadays wish Protect. So you think about that, and it's like, oh wow, it doesn't work when they click Protect. So all these mons that were so good at breaking balance actually don't break balance the way we thought they did. Stuff like Mamoswine and Kyurem that was so famous for its sub-roost set. Sub-roost Kyurem was one of my favorite mons in Gen 7, and I don't think it's very viable anymore now that it's been revealed that metronome doesn't work if you Protect. You think about stuff like Protect Ferrothorn, Wish Protect Clef, Pex in Gen 7, for example, because again, this has been hard-coded incorrectly in every generation since 4. So that's major. I'm in Gen 7. Again, so much metronome Mamoswine. I had metronome Hydreigon teams because, again, Dark Pulse is a really nice move to spam. But all that stuff has kind of been invalidated by the fact that if they Protect, your boosts are reset. And also, if they switch to a sack, your move didn't actually connect. Thus, it failed. Thus, you're back to 0%. And it's crazy because on bulbapedia, this has always been correctly written. Yeah, this has always been correctly written. If you guys... Oh, sorry, my sub goal popped up. But yeah, you guys can see it right there. Boost the power of a move used consecutively by the holder. The metronome boosts the power by 10% in Generation 4 or 20% from Generation 5 onward. Sorry, so it's 20% each turn, not 10. Oops, since Gen 5. Wait, did they change it back to 10? Yeah, they changed it back to 10, I thought. Or maybe it's 20 now, whatever. Either way, basically what I'm trying to say is it was correctly listed on bulbapedia what it did, but we just didn't care. I guess Showdown just never saw that. And it's funny because the hundreds of thousands of, maybe even 1 million people have played competitive Pokemon at least one time since 2007. Let's say it got really popping around DPP time. Obviously now we're at like almost the peak of competition, or the amount of people who play competitive, but you know what I mean. Think about all those years, more than a decade, and nobody caught it. It was written clearly on bulbapedia. It was clearly reflecting this in all cartridge games, but somehow the server didn't understand it. So this is how I found out. This was written in the Smogon tournaments server by my boy ABR. he posted this because they found out important mechanics update. The item metronome now works differently on PS. Boosts now reset upon failing, which means either the move missing or being used on protect. This applies to all generations that have metronome, all since DPP. I think this is absolutely so groundbreaking because a lot of games, tournament games, playoffs have been decided thanks to what's it called? Thanks to metronome. There are a lot of mons that end up using the move metronome because it's a good bluff item. It's an item that isn't life orb, it's not choiced, but it does give power regardless, so it's able to put you in a confusing situation if you're playing against it. I'm about to show some stuff. Hold on, we're about to look at these usage statistics from Smogon Premier League. Hold on. And you're gonna see, look at this. Look at this. Look at what's it called? Mantine. Mantine had 12 uses and a 66% win rate in this whole tournament. That means it was used 12 times in SPL and won 8 out of 12 times. That's what 66% is. 8 out of 12 times it was used, it won. And I guarantee you, at least 11 out of 12 of those times, it was sub-roost metronome. Maybe one time somebody used specs, maybe the first week. But ever since then, it became metronome. And I can guarantee you that without metronome doing what it did, it would not have won 8 out of 12 times. So that's just one small thing that it's like, what? You can see Mammoth got exposed. 14 usages and only 35% win rate. If my math's correct, that's only 5%. I mean, only 5 wins out of 14 games. Very, very bad. But I'm not going to get on a tangent. But as you can see, I mean, that's the reason. I mean, Curum is obviously so good with specs now, but that metronome set is basically out the door. I mean, I guess now that Clef can actually wish protect it too, there's no reason. Dang, wish protect Clef actually got better. I was running this set for the longest time. Hold on, I'm about to show you guys. This is just a crazy thing because it's like I feel like people knew this and yet on Showdown they just didn't change it or something. I don't know. It's like maybe it just really got by for years. But that's what everyone's been saying, that we just had the wrong system, which is hilarious. It was just hard coded incorrectly. I mean, which happens. I mean, I don't know how you can get every mechanic right, and even to this day we're discovering mechanics from decades and decades ago. This was just one that we all knew, and somehow like nobody even like thought twice. I've never looked up the item metronome on bulbapedia to find out that it shouldn't work. It's just crazy that after years they find this out, you know, and then they change Showdown accordingly. I don't even think Showdown has been accurately changed yet to reflect this, but hopefully it will happen. I actually found out looking at these analysis. This is the analysis for Mantine. And as you can see, the item is now Mystic Water, and I was like, dude, there's no way Mystic Water is a good item. So I look it up, and you can see, let me just say that given the recent metronome discovery, the analysis is mostly outdated and will more likely be removed within the near future. I'm going to ask you in advance to remove all metronome mentions from the analysis, replace them all with Mystic Water. I think this is a very mediocre Pokemon without the metronome item. I mean, I really think it sucks. See, look, since we're not running Metro anymore, it doesn't really beat Pex anymore. See, look, you can see it really fails to do a lot of stuff it used to be able to do. Stuff like Ferrothorn coming in to take the hurt. Now you have to run specs if you run this, and it'll suck. It'll suck for sure, because they'll go to Pex and they'll switch out. Metronome has truly been ruined by this. Pex, Clefable, Corviknight will always beat Mantine now. You just switch. You literally just switch, and there's nothing that can be done to save you. Metronome, it would save you because you'd sub up and you'd sweep. There's nothing that can save you now. So that sucks. Mantine is definitely kind of trash now. It sucks because that thing was like the staple of rain teams alongside Dracovish, and now that guy is like not as good as we may have thought. But yeah, I'm gonna just kind of go over some of the mons affected by this. So this is from Generation 8. You can see that Aegislash ran it quite a bit. Yeah, I loved it because all you need to do is Shadow Ball and Flash Cannon, right? Shadow Ball is an amazing move to spam. You don't need specs. You just click Shadow Ball versus Clefable, Corviknight, Toxapex. If they have the Lmaooo, just Toxic or Toxic on the Switch, right? So it's not a big deal. Or Flash Cannon even. But yeah, Aegislash, one of the best ones. Eternatus, I know this one runs it a ton in Ubers with Metronome. Wait, they don't even have a set with it, but I have seen it run Metronome. Curum, of course, Sub Roost, Pressure. It's, you know, such a obvious set that's been amazing every gen. Mantine, again, the Sub Roost set, basically unviable after this. In my opinion, I think this is garbage. Even the Curum is garbage too. He cannot beat Clef, Pharaoh, and none of those guys for shit. Primarina, I think I sort of remember this running it in old gens, but I don't use this. Vikavolt, I don't use it. Zero Aura, I have seen it in Gen 7. One of my buddies used Sub-Z Metronome. I mean, not Sub-Z, Sub-Metronome Plasma Fist. I don't think it's good. And then Magearna and Torn. These are like, okay, they don't even exist in Gen 8. Gen 7, you can look at it. I mean, Magearna and Gen 7, I actually had a team, Shift Gear, Metronome, which was pretty cool in combination with Soul Heart, but I mean, that thing's broken. Gen 7, you can see a lot of Ice types, Mamoswine and Cryogonal. I mean, that's still relevant in today's. I have never been a big fan of Metronome besides on Aegislash in Gen 8 and on Curum in Gen 7. Otherwise, like on Mamoswine, I would never use a Metronome. I would just run Choice Band. Necrozma, Shaman Sky. So these are interesting picks. Let me see what they said for XY. Nobody, and then what the fuck? Anyways. Yeah, but you can see like a lot of these mons. I even made a list of some of the mons I had used that I found in my builder. Aegis/Mamoswine, Tapu Lele. Again, that was a mon that is really good in my opinion at running the metronome. I'll show you guys a team I used to run with it. That I think. I mean, you can run specs or metronome. It's not really a big deal. It's like the same shit. But this is the team I ran. And I won with it SPL week 1. I had Metronome Tapu Lele to kind of bluff, do some power, keep spamming the psychic move, T-bolts, all that good stuff. This is irrelevant now. If Celesteela came in on my T-bolt and protected the next turn, my T-bolt will be back to normal power and I died a heavy slam. So the whole point is like it's just gone. Same with the Spadef Heatran. Maybe it can tank 2 focus blasts if it protects, and my blast is neutralized. Like my boost is neutralized. So it's all things to think about. A lot of Pokemon got cut. Like they just got the viability of this possible set taken down in viability. Mantine again is trash. Hydreigon, I used to use Dark Pulse, but I don't even like that as much as Specs. Volcarona, I guess I have a Metronome Volcarona team. Don't think it's that good. And then Kyurem. But yeah. So basically, we've known forever. We've known forever, man. Jeez, that's so funny. It's crazy that they even boosted it to 20%. Like it changed up from Gen 5 onwards. So we changed the power from 10 to 20 each turn, but we did not change that it doesn't work if you protect. Honestly, like I said, it's just crazy that so many mons have used this in tournament games. There's been so much metronome stuff in tournaments. You have no idea. Because a lot of times in competitive games, if you, I mean in competitive Pokemon, if you want to use an item that's not a choiced item or a life orb, so you're not trying to, you know, expose your item. Obviously, if you use a choice band, the damage output makes it obvious what you're using, and life orb, the recoil makes it obvious. But metronome, you can get away with for the first 2 or 3 turns before they truly understand, right? Because damage rolls and all this stuff. Metronome was one of the best bluffing tools for offensive mons. People used to use stuff like muscle band, charcoal when they don't want to take recoil, but they want to boost their mon specific moves. But metronome gave a lot of these Pokemon that just use 2 moves. Think of Mantine, Mamoswine and Kyurem, obviously only using ice and ground coverage. Volcarona only using dual stab. Tapu Lele spamming its psychic move, H/ spamming the ghost move, Hydreigon spamming the dark move. You know what I mean, right? That was an amazing tool for them, right? Because they only really need 1 or 2 moves anyway. So this let them boost their power without being locked in or taking life orb recoil. And now none of those Pokemon have that opportunity. I mean, they have other sets, but stuff like Mantine has really just dropped down in my opinion. But yes, that's basically it. I don't need to make this video longer than it has already been. Metronome, basically how it is how it was always has been on cartridge, but I guess Showdown missed it, which is funny. I mean, I assume they're gonna fix it. It's just crazy to me to think that this has been going on since Gen 4. I guess maybe they had it hard coded correctly at one point and it's not hard coded now, but this is the first time I've ever heard about it, and I've known about metronome since I started playing. So I was just thinking about all the tournaments, like all the people that have used metronome at some point and like gotten away with it now. Like I'm thinking about all the metronome teams I have, all the metronome Kyurems I have used to perfection. And knowing that if my mon sacks or uses protect, it's useless. That's hilarious. But that's basically it. Hope y'all enjoyed. Catch you with Beyond Nights later on Joey's channel, and then tomorrow on mine and more. Peace.